Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on UppTalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say UppTalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you're new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
Data change task. You remember we ran data change task to when we ingested the Workday report. Let me filter it out. Yet, let me cover it up if not. Here from source is Workday report. DV worker. You remember we created a data change task. Here we created table. What we did is here, if we go to two things and filter by tags, our tag was what? Personal data. You can see here there are 54 data set. But to filter it out, we will use a tag which we are attacked. Here we created PBL worker data and then created a deeds as for where is the deeds. This is where this one for this one. To get the data on a continuous basis, we created a data change task just to show it to you again. What we do is when we create a data set and we create a data change task, what happens is that two difference between the table and data set, base data set. Both of them stores the data and work accordingly. But another difference is, first of all, we created the data and then put the data into it. And secondly, we and for the base data set, we first of all select the data and then we create a data set. In table, we create a table and now we want to assign a data change task that it should be getting data on a continuous basis. Let's say here, when I go to first of all, it's asking me to upload a file or drop a file, but I want to see the options. Here are the different options which are used. File upload, Workday report, data catalog as FTP, Amazon S3, Salesforce. These two things are subjective depending on organization, but this thing will always be there. There's four things. Here we created a Workday report, and when we create a Workday report, it is asking me which Workday report to choose. We created Workday, we choose DV, worker data, and we give next. First of all, what we did is we identified the source, and in that source what? Particularly if we select file, it will ask us which particular file to pick up on. Here we selected the report, and here the specific report is DV worker data and give. Next, it will ask Mel what is the target. The target is automatically selected as the table worker data. If we are creating a data change task separately, then it will ask us which is the target table. But we are getting the data from this report. But in which table we are ingesting the data? We will be ingesting data in this table. And how it does want to insert? Does it want to insert it? Does it want to truncate it? If I click on truncate, it will say work. That is all existing data and it replaces with the target table data. Basically, it replaces the data with the newer one. Then there are options as delete, which will completely delete that data, and another is update the data. Workday updates existing data in based upon the data from the source. And there's an absurd if data. Difference between absurd and update is update will only update the data if, let's say, if there 3 workers data is available and we ingested 5 worker data, it will only update the data for the 3 workers only which are already there and rest 2. It won't update it. But in absurd, what it will do is it will update the existing one, and if there if there is no max found, it will append the data Worker inserts the data from data source. It doesn't exist in the target table. There's a data if it does, got it? Yes. And then we keep next when we won't complete this because already this particular thing is with perform. Let me go to back here and mention funcate and insert, and next then here it will ask us for the mapping. We to map the fields basically. Here it will show what is the source data and target data. There are chances when the source and target might be different. Let's say here an employee, here's employee, it can be. Our source can be different name as it's not always necessary that it is the same. Here we are different to worker, but here it can be a full name as we want to map that this worker. Data will get into this column of the target table. Then this legal name will go into this column of the target table. We are just mapping that this data will flow into this column. This data will flow into this column, and to do it we need to see that the data type should be the same. Here in employee ID, the ID data type in the text format. Here in employee ID, here is also in a text format. This is instance to instance hide. It is also date to date, numeric to numeric. Then here multi-instance is there, a prime here, and it is also matching over here. Got it? And here you can see this. These four things will be there by default. Why? Because we discussed when we load the data, this load ID will have the data unique ID. That particular load, let's say if the load uploaded today, the ID might be that. The 10th of 4th October 2024, but it may be in a different naming convention and it will have an ID alphanumeric it and it will have the load timestamp. What is load times in timestamp? It will have a date and time of the load when it was loaded. It will consider a time which is set up in the tenant. Let's say the setup is where is the tenant is set up in the east for est format. Then that time will show. If it is set up in A in est, it will show that time. Or let's say any time zone, if it's there, will show that time. But it is just for an understanding that. Let's say there is a load of, let's say and there's a load of, let's say, load of 10 workers. And again that we appended the data of 10 workers, then there will be duplicate values. But here we will be able to identify that this is the old data based upon the timestamp and the load ed. And then we will give next and we will review it and we will finish. It will load it and the process will work because we already done yesterday. We can do it again as not an issue. Continue finish once I give save. I can give save or I can give save and run now. Save and run now. What you'll do is save. We'll only save it and it will run if I give any frequency to run it. I want that report to run every day and once and once. It runs every day. I also want to update the table over here. Yes, but if I want to run it once, I will give save and run. And then you will be able to see that in the data change task. I will be able to see data change task. I will be able to see here. Let me see. I haven't packed that data change task. See, it is saying retrieving. It is retrieving the data. It is doing the process. Any confusion in this one? No. Basically, it's nothing. It is just our data change task activity. What we are doing is, let me explain in the Excel. It will be easy for you to here we have our data. Here the data is there, Workday report, and here we have a table worker. Date data. This what it will do is, this will hold the data and this will hold it will. This will store the data Let's say store the data. This is Prism environment. And this is Workday environment. Let us say external environment, external or Workday environment. Here what will happen is when we do a data change task is a connection which sends the data from Workday report to the table. It happens the data in here based upon the if we give insert, if we give here give trunket and insert upsert or update depending on the function. Basically, it's a bridge which is getting this data from Workday report and fetching over here, and in this bridge we will map the fields that, let's say here the field is employee, it at this year different. Then we can change it accordingly. Got it? Got it? Any confusion in understanding this data change task? No, clear now. Now it's clear now. Likewise, here is the connection. Now we created a data change task, correct. Now for the connection. Connection is a frequency on which it want to do. Let's say do create. I go to connections. What I will do is I will create a connection. Here we currently don't have any FTP credentials to do it. But when we do it in FTP, I will at an extent, I will show you when we create a connection SFTP. Here it is very much understandable. Let me show here. See here what was that in the data science task. It was getting the data from either file SFTP or anywhere and it was uploading. But in connection, what happens is we are creating a permanent connection which will fetch the file on a request on a regular frequency. I will show you here. I need to mention the connection type. I will mention that SAP, which is a let's say system, a legacy system, from where we are getting the worker or the data. Because for the worker data we create a report, but all data we are getting from SAP. SAP to Workday. And here we will name the file name. What happens is, what is the file name? What file name will give? File name is that's FTP. How's FTP works, or shall I explain FTP? Please explain it. FTP is what the full form of FTP is, Secure File Transfer Protocol. Let's say here, let's talk about the foundation. If I want to send you any file, but I want to send you securely, what I do is I don't let it. You send out your WhatsApp eye contact to the support team of the Cloud Foundation. They might be encrypting or doing some, or they might be sending you in an email to you. It's a safe process. To transfer the file, let's say I want to send you my bank details or very crucial information which is very critical over WhatsApp. It might be happen that my phone might get stolen and some might extend it and might check it. Same happens to file when I send one file to another system. Let's say here the system 1 is there and here system 2 is there. Let's say this is SAP and this is Workday. I'm sending this file from this, and while sending it via internet, some hacker might come over here and he might hack my file, and all the critical data all my critical data can be lost. It can be in the market. What SFTP does is it doesn't directly send from one system to another. What it does is, rather than doing this, let me keep this over here. What it does is here, it creates a folder, cloud folder, which is known as SFP. SFP is what it is, a secure file transfer protocol. It will create just Google Cloud. It will have a cloud folder and it will have an address, and then except what SAP World do is it won't communicate directly to Workday to. System doesn't contact. with them directly most of the time. What will this F will extract the file. It will send a file in this folder. It will fold in this folder. Let's say here the file name is, let's say, or data file. It will pull this file and it will pull. We are paste it over here. Then what? Workday does is Workday will use this credential of SAFT and pull this file from this, and it will pull this from here to here. Got Basically, it's a mediator that this system will send this file and keep it over here. And this file and Workday will look the file in this SFTP and pull this from this folder. Got it? Will be. And now this putting the data and pulling the data, this cloud folder has been taken care by us. By securing it will have a password. Let's have a look. Here's setup address. Will the SEFT address will be SEFP. We know our website is written it will be HTTP. Let me open a Google here. You will see Google come. If I open a Google come, here we see TP. But here ends if it will be SEFP / and the name of it. Let's say Walmart. And file.walmart.com. Then directory will be there. What is directory? Directory is address. If I show you here, let me open this one. Here, if I go to downloads, here you can see. I'm going from this PC to downloads. This is what? This is the directory. And let's say let's go in a complex one. Let's say I'm going to program files. Here this PC local C. Local disk program file. This is what the directory, the path of it. Similar way, here we will give a path that once it goes to this particular website file.walmart, it will go to the data/report data. And it will go over here. And after reaching this particular, going to this website, it will go to data. It will go inside the report. And inside that, it will file this file name. Let's say I have given the file name as OGDetect. Here I have mentioned OGDetect. It will look this file under this folder. It will go to this website. Under data, under report, it will find for this particular file. If it is able to find this file, it will retrieve this file to the Workday. If not, it will throw an error that this file is not available in this particular address. This is nothing. This is just an address. And here we are using use stamp, file or not, it will be temporary. Allow the file to be overwritten only when the uploading is their attempt to read the file. What it is, doesn't it is create. It will create a temp file. It will delete it. Once it picks this, it will delete it. It's just an optional one. I can select and unselect this, but now what makes it secure? It makes it secure by mentioning the user ID and password here when we go to here, as I mentioned you in this one. Let me go to SESF. When this Workday looks into it, it faces a security. It will ask for the credential. What? They goes to a cloud folder and it will ask that give me the file or data or CSV. I'm here to look for auditor CSV file. Please give it to me. The safety will ask for username and password when SAP drop this file over. Here, it will mention that SAP will only provide me this credential. I don't need to get it from somewhere else. SAP will only provide me that I have dropped this file over here and use this username and password to log in into this particular folder and get this file. Let's say SAP has given me the username and credential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the password was let's say Workday @ 1, 2, 3 and I need to also verify it again. Once I do it, it'll do it, then 5, you will do this. Delete after retrieval. Let's say here there are two cases. When I retrieve this file over here, it should cut paste it or copy paste it. I am using very basic terminology, cut paste or copy paste. If it will copy paste it, or this here, or data will be there, it will be here as is here. But what if I want to cut? Pitch it in cut place. The file will be deleted from here and will be pitched over here. Here in our case, the file delete after retrieval, it will, after it retrieves into the Workday, it will delete it from the SFTP folder and it decompresses it. Let's say it is what to compressed file. We did a compressed zip file, it will decompress it. You remember, I told you that we can compress the file when we upload it, then decrypt using, here we mentioned the key. Let's say we want to add another level of security where we are already using this FTP. We are sending this file, but here we could decrypt this here. File into a particular password, that's a key. Here the key is also already there in the system. It's already in the system, we just click it. Here what keys it is, it was completely non-Workday thing. What it does is it has a key that, let's say, if let me explain you on a basic level. I will explain, you won't be doing it, but I am just giving an example. What is this basic idea? Let's say in interview, if they ask you, you will be able to answer. Let's say if there is a text 1, 2, 3, but I am encrypting this into 0. I will give you a best example, which computer language uses. Let's say here, 1 is represented as a 0 and 1. I will use another letter and 2 is being denoted by a B and 3 is being denoted by bar. And now let's say I want to, this is coded. Now let's say I to write 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I want to write in a coded language how it will write. I will type a B and B, got it. First letter will be 1, second letter will be a B, 2 and B would represent 3. This is my key. How I will translate 1 to A, what does 2 means? It will mean a B. This is my key, a translation key. We won't be able to understand. We just need to select a key. They will only let us know what key to select. It will be different pairs. This is just in one example. We can code it to someone else as correct. Once it's done, we need to restrict that when it should work. If it's into, it will be limited into sandbox. If it is into sandbox, then only it should retire the file, or else it shouldn't be retrieving the file. And then we can give generally what exactly how you receive the files from a FTP or where exactly in real-time scenarios. Real-time scenarios generally. Based upon my experience, we very rarely used by uploading the file. We generally what we do is we receive the file via SFTP because storing the data in a system is not good in terms of data privacy. Either we use FTP or we create a Workday report and create a data from there. Unless there is any particular limitation that we are not able to do SFTP. That is the difference. Basically uploading a file from our system when SFTPs are very same. SFTPs it is. Picking the file from someone else's system and uploading a file is uploading a file from our system. That is the only difference, but there is no confusion. Yes, in no real time. Here is we are. One of the option is FTP. People are generating some reports. Maybe they are direct Prism reports will come this direction. About the same reports also come similar way. They are also different. Connections, no report. We in data change task herein. If I say this is how report comes, here, I mentioned here, I showed you here target. We created data change task for report data since that's connections is only for SFTP. Here you see, if I go again and go to connection, it will ask me to click FTP, Amazon S3 or Salesforce. Here, but when I give cancel and if I create this data change task, it will ask me for more options. I'll show you change options. It will ask for file. Upload Workday report data catalogs FP, Amazon 3. This one more options next. Yes, more options are there over here. Yes, this is how it works. It gives more options because it is a data change as it will change the data and that other thing will fetch that things. Let me give over here and let's see how it works. It is asking for an error. The field verify is required. Must value verify. I want to mention 1, 2, 3. I will mention. I'm just randomly mentioning the things and you here you can see this is all configured. And now what I can do is I can use it. Prism can. I can test this connection and view this connection that for which I created it. What I can created is and I configured it into the air for any tenant, for any table. This card, here there are two ways to run an integration. One is that in data change task, I can configure it. What I can do is I can go over here, I can give run now. It will automatically update a table. Secondly, I can open the table here. Table is there. I can click over here and view. I will be run integration option. I'll go here our table, run it or we integration just again. It already has took the data over here. It's not, but when I create it for the first time, it will show me run integration now. It will get the first tool for the first time. Here it is given. Can repeat the integrations. Can I show you? Yes, I'll create a table and I will mention to bill worker data. Copied and I will mention that I guess personal data and enable for analysis. I will. Pick mark, I will create these stats. Will affect anything. I don't affect anything. Just thanks I guess for just bags are just for. We are just lagging. We are just connecting with that. Just for reference. Let's say here there are too many. There are too many. If I go back, let me go to data catalog. Here there are too many data sets are there. It is for filtering out. Here you can see all data as I go. There are too many tables and datasets being created, but I want to find my work or my project later work. I will. I'm working on a personal data project. Apply filter. As you can see, I am getting only 7 filters. It is work as a filter. Filter by tags tagging is just nothing. Is just tagging it that this thing is belongs to this building, this belongs to this one categorizing of the thing. Basically then we here choose Workday report and we create select worker. We select the report next and here we see the schema and we give save. Now we can view table details. Here view table details and we go to window table details. Here it will ask more for run integration or run into just a second table edit. I need to create data change. Let me assign data change first to it. Change connection Workday report. It will receive this file from next onwards. Here I will truncate and insert And then mapping. Mapping will be I will keep as it is. There is no modifications over here. Next, I would review it mapping, finish, save and run now. Yesterday's I was getting that option. I'm not sure why it's run integration view. Basically here, one method is to update the table with data change task. For base dataset, let me check for base dataset. Here, we pulled it with file upload. Where's the report created yesterday? What the reports it will ask for you. Run integration now. For base data set, you run the integration. It pulls the data from it. For tables, we use this data science task. Got it. Yes, I will run integration now and confirm it will fetch the data from that report. And will pull over here. In activities, you will be able to find it. Not in activities, basically, but in data change task, you will see it loading that it is getting the data from that particular one. Data change activities. This is data change activities for the table, and this is for data set activities which we kept on run. This one ran for 1 minute. What exactly integration means here and how integration you see don't go for. Terminology, it will be confusing. Integration is basically fetching the data, nothing else. No, 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 no. If that's the case, see the integration which we refer to in Workday is completely separate. I know it's very misleading. It shouldn't be integration, but here they have used that naming convention. We are not doing any specific thing, we are just updating the data asset with that data, but that's the only thing it happens over here if you see. The medications came here. Yes, yes, I understand that happens. Yes, yes. But here it's completely separate. That is how this thing works. Here it is showing activities which are currently working or successfully published, and then data change task. Now what we can do is here, when we go to all data, we will now learn how to publish it and share it. We are clear on this thing. You can just practice it once again and let me know in Monday session whether the concepts are clear for you or not. Sure. Then for publishing that data set, what we do is we go to derive data set. You already have done it. I go to first of all, I will explain to share once and I'll show how to publish it. When you click on share, already by default, all the Prism admin who are working, let's say I am Prism analyst. You're also Prism analyst or a Prism consultant. We both will be able to see all the data sets. But here we use this data set to show this data to other people. Other people, as in, let's say, I will show you. Let me click on this worker and shit. Other people, as in, let's say, payroll partner, or let me show you an option by organization type. Job profile, not job profiles, but let me search by admin. Here are the different admins: absence partner and absence admin, contract data administrator, a finance administrator. Let's have created a data set for finance, and I want to share that data set with the finance team and give them security to see the data, and I will share it with him. Now how it works here. Prism gives us two options: relax sharing rules and prevent relaxed sharing on derived data set. Here is two options that are already the write-up is given, but what this setup means is that whoever enables this, whoever creates, who is the owner of this data set here, if I click this, then he will be able to owner of this data set can share it with other users and require those users. Basically, he will get, let's say, created a data set, and then I will get a permission to send it with whoever I want. But let's say here we want to restrict it, though I created it. I created a data set. I don't want me shared with anyone. I will select this prevent, relax sharing this option. Here, what happens is here, it will you when you enable this option. Revokes the relaxed sharing rules on downstream drive. It is, let's say, assume you are a data administrator, fine now, and I am a Prism consultant. I created a data set and now I want to share it with someone else, but I don't trust, and you are the data admin and you feel that I shouldn't be giving this power to the Prism consultant. He shouldn't be sharing the report data set with anyone. Then I will click this option, but if I don't click this one, and as a data admin you want me as to share the data set with whoever I want, and you can share. This option understood? Yes, basically it gives us security. Who can share the data with whom? If I give this one, that the owner of the data set can do it. If I tweet this, my as a owner, my all taxes will get revoked, and only the data admin will be able to share the data set. The next option, who has the access? Here, who can own the data set, who can edit the data set, and who can view the data set. Here in the I can task, Prism. Prism is already there. That's a report administrator or not. Report administrator can own this report again or on this data set, or let's say data administrator is there. We will give this ownership of this. Data administrator will own the report. Who can edit this? I think there is no any role created for Prism. But let's say report admin can edit this report. Got. And now who can view this report? Who can view this report? Let's say I've created a finance report and I want to share this. I want to give this view access to finance admin. Finance admin, I will click this. Definitely the people who will own it will be able to view this report. I don't need to give extra to it. I can give here that data admin can also edit this report. Own can be only by data admin, but who can edit it? Data admin can also edit it and report administrator can be able to do it, and if they are able to own it and edit it, they are obviously able to view it but this is just for exclusive ownership or viewership. Sorry, only the finance admin can see it. Apart from this whole, people who are not from the data parts, I will do. Here's an error. Invalid security group must one of the security groups specify in the maintain security. Here I have to work on the security part. I need to mention the security groupings that is being look after the security person. I don't need to do it. Basically, this all things will be configured. Just need to select it which whom to share it with. But yes, here you can see the error. Invalid security group. Security group must be one of the security groups specific in the maintain. Assignable roles restriction. For that for this finance admin, I need to give that. Access for this to see the Prism data and all. That is how this sharing works into the Prism. Any doubt in sharing this part? No, how we share it, I need to see it. What basically we will get in practical scenario. Let's talk about the practical scenario. What practical scenario will have? First of all, you won't be sharing it as a Prism consultant. The data, and we will be looking after it. In case they ask you, what they will do is they will give you things that, Roger, go ahead and share this report with this particular security group and give them access for this particular ones. They will give you all the things. You just need to put it over here in these columns, in this rows, and just need to give. That's it. What? Yes, that is how it works. And when you save and go give, then that particular person can go to the data catalog and see that data catalog over here. Here as a Prism developer, we are able to see 655 results. But when you share the data set with the data set with the finance person, you will be only able to see the data set which are shared with them, not the authors. I hope this concept is clear to you. Now what apart from share? What else I wanted to discuss? Just a second. I will see my notes. Publishing a dataset. Here, when you publish a dataset, let me go here. When you go to the dataset here, and I want to see the derived datasets, let me check if we have any existing ones. Worker data entries and view. We can see that it already has this data, first name, last name, log, and all details. And activity. I am not able to see anything. Why? Because I haven't published. When I publish it, it will be available for the reporting. You remember you on, I think, second or third day you published a dataset and we were able to create a report on that. Correct. Remember that. We will see again for this. And which one? When we publish it and we go to this publish, we can also create a schedule. Why scheduled? Let's say we created a lineage of datasets. Let's take your example. Here we created this RB. This was the one, the last one. I will open the lineage. No, not this one. I know we have this one. Let's say here now we are getting this data from this in these two tables. Table and data set, and it is giving of processing the data and it is processing the data in this data set and then we are publishing it. But what we do, we want the data to be updated continuously. Here you saw that. We create a data, change starts and get the data on a frequent basis. But when we want to publish the data set on this, what we do is, let's say here we are having 10 worker data. And organization is hiring day by day new people. Let's say in this week it hired 10 people. In next week it hired 10 people. All these things is getting processed and getting stored in this. But this data won't be available until I publish it for the reporting needs. That's why I publish this data set on a regular interval. It is getting the data from the file and it is processing and keeping it. And from 10, it is appending the data Let's say 10 workers are there. Next week, 5 people got hired. Now the data set is having 15 people data set. Then let's say 15 people got hired and it is having 30 people. If I published it today, if I publish it last week, it will only hold the data. For 10 workers only, I need to also update it. To publish it, I will create a schedule, or I can create for one time. If I want to pull it, there is one option I can publish. It one time when I click over here, publish data set one time, and if I don't, then I create a schedule. Create a schedule. What is the frequency? Frequency is weekly frequency. I will ask that variety is high or normal. If we will give higher priority, it will run first. Let's say we are scheduling this every week on Monday. Monday it will run first. And recurring every week, every 1 week, every 2 week, every 3 week, we can mention it. Or every 4 week we can mention. We want every 1 week and it is mentioned days of the week. Here we can give Monday by type day of the week and we mentioned Monday, or we can give Wednesday as depending on our needs, and then start time. I want it to be run at 6 am. Morning, when people come and start working at 8 am, this report will be available. Let me go to 6 am and it will give me 5 minute intervals. I can see that 6 am at what time zone it should work, GMT. Los Angeles 6 am, it will work, but no, I want to work at PST time zone if it is available specific. What is the time zone for you? If you want to enter, but there will be some in Los Angeles. This is Los Angeles. Now it will work in GMT time zone. We have different time zones. If I see over here, default time zones, it will show me default time zone, which is a tenant time zone, and all time zone. It will show me all of them. Here GMT will be there. Then it will be on GMT. I need to convert it based upon the requirement for GMT, Ireland, Dublin, this, because all of them is there, and if you want to select the default one, it will go. Select the default one, and what is this? And catch up behavior. Run once. Let's say if the integration failed, I will give run or run once. I will give it a second chance. Let's say if I've given a file and it failed, I will give a run once as here. Then start it. I want it to work for 1 year. For 2 months, I will start it. Is 7th and the end date is, let's say, December of this year, 31st. It will automatically end, and I will give now. This is an active schedule, and now it will get published on a daily basis. And let's say if I don't create a schedule, we created this I will keep it as it is, but I want to publish it. I will click on this, and I think this is the one we're picking, the incorrect one. We're telling it, I think this is the one I will go on this published. Published a dataset by this. It will publish that. I will give submit, and now I will see the process over here started 2 seconds in progress. If I have refresh it. Once it's done, I will show as complicated. After publishing, also this goes to reports. Yes, this goes to reports after discovery portal. Only who have access, then they will see, or anybody else you can see in the Workday. Whoever has a security permission. In Workday, I need to also assign the first of all, when this does, it is published as a data source. Once it is published as a data source, the security admin, who whoever maintains the security in the Workday. He then looks after this. With what name? You created the last one. Let me pull it out and show it to you. Sorry, DDS-RB, DDS space RB custom worker report. No, I want the data object which you created last time. Remember, you published a data set. That is the one. And the video is different. I think it would be different. I think it would be yes. This one. Here there are no fields. But let me check if this published. I will be able to see the fields. Sometimes it takes time to publish it. Last time we were able to see the fields. Only business of DS. I think this is the one it will have. Here you go. 6 fields are there, and data source is also this one. The security is being maintained by here. If I click on this, yes, security we are not able to see, but the people who will have this access, you will be able to assign the security. Here, first of all, the categorization will be done. That this will fall under what details? It will fall under for worker data, or let's say here C category, and all things are empty. Here categorization can be done, that whether this thing falls under worker data, finance data, or let's say benefit data, payroll data, and based upon it the security will be given for a particular thing. And another example for this is, let's say I'm a worker in organization and I'm not able to see payroll data because I don't have securities to this field. To understand that, I am not able to see here security. Is there view security? Here I can. Secure analysis, security better in QV security, and this is tenant non-configure functionally. There is not non-configurable, it's not configured. Here in the domains, I can particular assign this particular domains here. For now, it is permitted. Security, all users can see the data, but I can edit that domain and I can restrict it to particular ones. Who's responsible? The security guy will look after it, not a security, because this is itself. It's a very complex and very different concept. It's a specialization, basically Workday Security Consultant. Here, we covered almost everything from the presentment. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.